Let's go down to the felt, a quick fold. And now Jason Helder, who splashes around a lot of pots, has raised with king 7. Ryan has folded. Chris has called with 9-8.
Yeah, Jared goes out. Ryan out as well.
So Chris, with a 9-8 suited connector, is going to see this end flop as a 10-9-9.
Notice that Jason has flopped a flush draw. Chris with 3 9s.
Jason is checked. Chris looking content, like the cat that swallowed the canary. He's going to make the bet. 135.
Jason going to make the call with the flush draw. As aggressive as he is, I'm surprised he's not raising with this hand. 8 of hearts. Vince, one's made a flush, one's made a full house.
They check.
Both players slow play in their hand. Now an ace comes off. It's going to get bloody for Jason, Vince.
And a bet by Jason. 450.
All in.
It is all in, and now if you're Jason, you hate hearing those words, because this is one solid player.
Is it like 500 more?
You just don't think he'd be doing it if he couldn't beat a flush.
Curiosity call with his king high flush. He's going to hate this. Chris pulls over the 9s full. Ouch, the crowd going crazy. Those are Chris's guys.
And the 25-year-old pro taking down that pot. Jason, back to the beer.
A little bit of a guzzle time for Jason. He plays a lot of pots. Sometimes that does not pay off. It can hurt you. 6 players battling for 421 for the first place prize here tonight. That's 421,000. Back on the wine man, he goes out. Chris going to take a breather.
Jared out as well, so around to the chip leader.
Yep, Ryan, he's got a nice ace, queen of spades. He's going to raise to 80,000. Corey Hochman behind him. The eye guy, he's going to push all in.
Well, Vince, you can't blame him. I do the same thing with this hand.
Jason out.
He's on the short stack up against the chip leader that's going to raise with any 2 cards on the button. Just unfortunately for Corey, he's running into a hand that dominates him. So the ophthalmologist could be head back to the office, Vince, if he doesn't get lucky here.
Last minute decision to play this event for the eye doctor. He has proven himself so far. Been playing WPT events for 8 years. Final table, and now he needs to get real lucky, Mike.
Well, he's got to get lucky, Vince, or Daddy's going to be going home to the 2 kids, Alara and Kaya.
And the flop is an A7-6. Aces for Ryan and a 4 flush.
Well, you talk about a nightmare flop.
That's probably not very good for me.
He's got to hit 2 runners to win this pot, and one of them can't be a spade. Looks very bad for him right now.
Here comes the turn card, and it's a 7. Pairs the board. That's going to wrap it up for the eye doc.
The 39-year-old from Phoenix, Arizona, who finished 9th in the WPT World Championship last season. Final table here, but out tonight in 6th place.
Yeah, the ophthalmologist gets poked in the eye, and he is walking blindly out of here in 6th place. Going to take home 81,000. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, I normally wouldn't shove there with Queen King, but Ryan had raised a lot on the button yesterday with junk, and I knew, especially in a short-handed game, he'd be more likely to do it even. So that's why I took a shot at it. I was going for the whole thing. I was planning to win. I love the World Poker Tour. I mean, this is great. I'm going to come back. You'll see me back at the final table.
Everybody loves more. More food, more time, more doggos. You get the point. And at WPT Global, we're giving you more value when you deposit. Just use the promo code YT66 and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,500, along with our already incredible bonuses in tournament tickets and casino play.
All right, back to the table. Quick fold by Chris and Jared. Ryan Van Sanford, an attractive ace-10 with the button. We'll pop it to 100,000 into Jason, who is now on the short stack. He's got king, queen of spades.
All in.
Whoa.
He's gone all in. That's what I would have done in this situation as well.
Brian quickly folds.
How much is it, please?
10.55. Or whatever, 1,055,000.
I call.
Wow, what a call by Ryan. Well, Ryan has the best hand with the ace-10. Jason is going to need some help to stay alive in this tournament. Vince, not long ago, he was the chip leader. If he doesn't get some help here, he could be our 5th place finisher.
And the flop is a 7-7-6. No help for Jason.
Now Jason looking for a king or a queen to take the lead. Or 2 running spades to make a flush, but needs help.
Ryan sitting pretty.
4 comes off on the turn. If Jason doesn't catch a king or a queen on the river, he will be our 5th place finisher.
Get there.
We are going to the river.
Oh boy, the hokey about to bite the dust if he doesn't catch a king or a queen. Well, a jack comes off.
What a tease. Good luck, guys.
Well, a good sport. Just wasn't meant to be for Jason tonight.
Yeah, Jason Helder, consummate professional, most experienced at the table tonight. Not going to happen from him. He's out in 5th place. Going to take home 101,000. Let's go see what he has to say.
I definitely didn't play terrible. Could have played better. Obviously, coming in 2nd, getting 5th is no good, but I mean, making my first TV final table, not too bad. I mean, a little disappointed, but nothing wrong with, I don't even know what I got, like 100,000 or something. So pretty good.
And we have 4 players battling for that 1st place prize of 421,000.
Yeah, half the chips in play almost.
A little less, yeah.
Awesome.
And we will go to the felt on Jared. He's from Tallahassee, Florida, 39 years old, gonna muck his hand. Ryan, the chip leader.
He's going to make a button raise here of up to 100,000.
And right behind him, Brian, the wine man, has picked up kings. He's going to play it slow. He is just called. Sometimes this could backfire when you play the king slow. Chris is also going to call with just an 8-6.
So here we go, 3-way action.
Flop is a jack 6-4. King's out in front.
Well, Brian with the 2 kings checks. Chris with middle pair also checks.
And Ryan going to make a bet with just 4s.
330.
You heard it, 330 total. Chris flying away.
And Ryan calling with bottom pair here.
Yep, doesn't believe him. Going to the turn, it's an 8. Chris would have made 2 pair. He's kicking himself.
Action on Brian. He puts a healthy stack out there. 650,000 into a pot that's got less than $1 million in it. I don't know how you can continue to call here with bottom pair, but let's see what he does. Wow, Vince, he is going to make the call here with bottom pair.
Does not believe the man with the hat.
Now, whatever his opponent had, if he had any kind of straight draw, if he had an overpair, 2 4s are beat. There's nothing he can beat here. Now a 3 comes off.
1 million.
1 million now the bet.
Wow, that is hefty.
That's if you're sitting in Ryan's seat and you called him on the turn because you thought you might have the best hand with 4s. No way a 3 is going to help the guy. I mean, all you can beat is a complete stone bluff here. If you had any kind of draw, he has you beat. If there's any kind of overpair, he has you beat.
But his instincts are that the man with the hat is trying to steal a pot from him. And you want to make a hero call, perhaps. Don't do it, kid. Don't do it. He's done it.
Made the call. Made a hero call, but it's not going to be a hero. His sandwich is going flat here. Then some people might think the 21-year-old played that hand like a 5-year-old. The wine consultant just pops the cork in the youngster's eye right there. And with that pot, we have a new chip leader at this final table for the first time. The amateur, Brian Reinert, is our chip leader.
I didn't drive 5 hours for nothing. Let's go.
My wife's gonna have a heart attack. She never watched me play poker.
What a night it is for Brian. And Brian will just keep counting the chip. Chris now with an ace-6. he will just call it. Jared, okay to see the flop, not going to raise with his mess of a hand. 8-3. Here we go. Flop comes up queen 4-4.
Surprised Chris wouldn't raise out of the small blind with ace high, but he limped in. He checks here. And Jared will try to bet to take this pot. Can't blame him. He's just got an 8-3 junk hand.
Chris is called though. Going to the turn. It is an 8. That gives Jared 8s. Just going to check again.
It's going to be a bit of a scare card. Your opponent called you on the flop. Now the flush comes off. Even though you helped your hand here, looks like a great time to check, because if it gets raised here, I don't think he can continue with this hand.
Well, he's bet 105,000. Chris with ace high is going to raise it.
Wow. And Jared, a complete bluff here. And he could be drawn completely dead. Now 4 diamonds on the board.
Either player has a diamond, of course, and
A snap bet right there by Chris Bolek, the 25-year-old pro.
380.
And he's going to win this pot. Wow. That was aggressive play by both players there.
Just Chris playing the situation beautifully there. Oh, it's so good to steal. Chris, well done.
And there you see the chip count. Brian Reinert still the chip leader with 5.6 million. Ryan in second place. And Chris moving into third place after that pot.
Right back on Brian, the new chip leader. This time with a little 5-3, and
he's the first to speak.
125.
How many times have we seen a guy take a chip lead at this table and just play junk the next hand right after he took it?
just thinks he's on a roll, makes it 125. Chris out, but Jared with an ace-10, not going to raise, just calling. And Ryan has been punished enough. He folds his hand. So ace-10 versus a silly 5-3. Here we go.
Well, king, queen, 8 is the flop. Does give Jared a gut shot straight draw, but he's going to check.
Brian hitting none of that, of course, with just 5 high. Will make a continuation bet.
Nancy knows he can't win a checking, so he's betting and then holding his breath.
235. And Jared is going to release this.
So there you have it. What a play by Brian there, raising pre-flop with junk, making the continuation bet to take down the pot. And with it, there you can see his big chip lead. He's up to over 5.8 million now.
Yep, oldest player at the table, 48 years old. He's now the hero at the table. Taking down hands he doesn't even deserve. Beautifully done. On to this one, a quick fold by Jared and Ryan.
Well, I disagree with you, Vince. Anytime you win pots with the worst hand, you've earned their pots, and therefore you deserve them.
All right, the sixes is going to raise. He's in a good rush, but right behind him. Look at this, Chris with the real hand, pair of 10s.
Well, just shocked he's just calling here, not re-raising with 2 10s. We saw him slow play aces pre-flop earlier at this final table. See how it works out for him here. Jack 9-4. Brian's going to make the continuation bet with the 6s. Now with the 10s, you're not going out, but you make a crying call because there's an overcard out there that might have hit your opponent. Well, an 8 comes off. So now this gives Chris an opening straight draw to go with his 2 10s. Well, Brian is going to check the 6s. Chris checks right behind him. A little surprised by that. Now the 3 comes off.
And Brian is going to donate 160.
Well, this is sort of a blocking bet, as we call it, Vince. It's a small bet.
It must be good.
You just don't want to have to call a big bet, so you bet a small amount yourself with 2 6s.
Nice hand.
In case you're going to pay it off on the river. And As you can see, Chris makes the call with the tens and wins the pot.
Yeah, the deceptive wine man, Brian Reinert, is truly opening up his game now, applying all kinds of pressure. And right now, action's going to Jared Reinstein. He's got a pretty good ace-jack.
All in.
And he is going to push all in with it.
Ryan out.
Ryan out. Chris cannot compete, so Jared taking down that pot. He's an outdoorsman, family man, used to be a gymnast.
Well, loves to play poker, but his biggest cash is only $5,000. Going to shatter that mark tonight wherever he finishes.
He's got a pretty solid pair of eights right now.
All in.
And he's going to push again all in.
And I don't blame him. I'd do it again, too, with this hand.
Brian with nothing. Goes out, Brian out. And now Chris has a
Can I have a count, please?
potential calling hand, ace-10. Wants a count.
Chris is just sitting in third chip position, though. But still, he knows he could be up against king-queen, a small pair, ace and a baby card where it'd be a dominating favorite.
He is going to do it. He puts the chips in. The crowd gets on their feet.
So the classic race, the 2 over cards versus the under pair. Jared Reinstein needs to win this hand to stay alive in this tournament. Right now he's out in front with the 2 8s. Will they stand up?
Jared Reinstein's first WPT cash, first final table. Likes the way things are going so far. Let's see how his eights do. Good on the flop as a king, 7-7 up here.
Yeah, he's gonna like the way the flop is going because he's still way out in front with 2 8s.
Turn card is a king. That pairs the board again, so also very good for Jared.
Yeah, he can only lose this pot if an ace or a 10 comes up. They would split the pot if a 7 came off.
So far, so good for Jared, the family man, the outdoorsman.
Great chance to double up.
Here we go to the river.
Tough luck there. Opponent hit the 10 on the river to eliminate him from this tournament. Good sport, handshakes all around.
Nice play, man. Good plan with you boys.
It was a race, but Vince, when it comes on the river, it's just a bigger dagger in the heart. Wow.
So Jared, the outdoorsman, is out the door in fourth place.
Gonna get it going.
He will take home $135,000. Awful beat on the river.
That's sick.
Let's go talk to him.
Super satisfied. The result, obviously, further would be better, but I'm super stoked with everything. My wife's with me. The best bet crowd itself is, I think, family to me. They treat me great. I love everybody here, the whole staff, and the whole best bet in general. Played my heart out for sure.
Everybody loves more. More food, more time, more doggos. You get the point. And at WPT Global, we're giving you more value when you deposit. Just use the promo code YT66 and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,500, along with our already incredible bonuses in tournament tickets and casino play.
You could sell a lot of hats in poker rooms around the country, I'll tell you that.
He's an extrovert, a lot of fun. But on this hand, Chris has raised the pot to 125. Ryan out, and Brian will splash around with a 10-7. Let's see what happens in the first 3 cards. 10-6-4.
Both players a flop top pair. Brian is out kicked, and his opponent has a flush draw, meaning Brian is in terrible shape here.
He checks. Chris is going to bet 175.
He check raises here. He better duck because it could be in very, very serious trouble.
Raise.
Well, he is going to check raise. Chris will be going nowhere, folks. Just a matter if he moves in here or if he just calls. Anytime, never, ever drawing dead. I don't care what the guy's got. So you're going to play the pot.
He does play it, makes the call, going to the turn. And it pairs again, 4.
I'm all in.
All in here by Brian.
Well, that is not a good card for Chris. He's only got 1 card to go. Possibility he could be drawing dead.
Call.
He could be out-kicked, but he's made the call with just 2 10s and a jack kicker. Has his opponent hemmed up about as good as you can have him. The only way he can lose this pot is to catch a 7. That's not the 7 of hearts.
Ace, king, or queen? Ace, king, or queen?
They would split the pot if a 10 or a 4 came off, and Brian would love to split it right now because he is up against it.
Well, this could be a great double up for Chris.
There it is a tie. This is going to be a split pot. Both players have made 4s over 10s. What a tough spot for Chris Bolek right there. Unbelievable.
Gotta be kidding.
He had him hemmed up about as good as you can have a guy, but yet Brian squirmed out with the tie. He sits back down, happy as a lark.
We are seeing it all here tonight. I am flabbergasted by that. Oh, man, on to the next one.
And what I love is the composure showed by Chris Bolek. Even after opponent sucked out to get a split on that last pot, he stays calm, cool, and collected.
He's going to raise with the suited connector to 125. Ryan out. Brian.
He's just having a ball now, man. Just going to play everything. Doesn't care what they raise. If he doesn't hit anything, he just bets.
Flop king, 8 deuce.
And he's got no hand, no draw, nothing, and just fires right out into the pre-flop raiser.
160,000, and Chris with a pair of 8s going to make this call. Turn card is a 4 of clubs.
Now 3 clubs on the board. Neither player has a club in their hand. They don't know the other guy doesn't.
He is swinging away with nothing. 2. Chris is going to be stubborn. He has the pair of 8s. He's going to make another call.
And he just believes his 8s are the best hand. Got no flush draw. Could be drawing dead. Calls anyway. Now a 9 comes off.
Gives Brian 9s, but there's 4 clubs out there.
Gives Chris 2 pair. Now Brian hadn't slowed down so far. He's going to bet here. Well, he's got a hand he could actually check down, I think. 2 9s in this spot.
Brian's going to bet 320.
And Chris lays it down. I'm a little surprised at that. What did the guy bet on the flop with? The ace or queen of clubs? I'm not sure if Chris doesn't rethink that hand, that he doesn't wish he would have called with 2 pair there.
Very interesting. My man is taking over Jacksonville right here tonight.
Look at that chip lead. He's got 8.3 million. Next closest guy to him has 3.5. The 3rd place guy with 1.9. So right now he is dominating these young guns.
Okay, Brian is raised with queen 9. Brian, of course, going to call with just 8-6 of diamonds. And Chris going out. Here we go with the flop. It's a king 7 deuces, 2 clubs though. Brian with a 4 flush. Brian's going to lead out 225. Brian calling. Ryan with 4 clubs here, and the turn is a queen. That gives Ryan queens with the 4 flush.
Now Brian is just not going to slow down, Vince. Once he gets going downhill, he just does not take his foot off the pedal. That is part of the detriment of his game, I think. Just doesn't know when to pull back the reins.
He is pushing again, 375. Ryan just calling, going to the river.
Well, the board pairs kings. And without hesitation, Brian gonna bet again. This time 600,000.
With 8-6 in his hand.
Now, if you're sitting in Ryan's seat, in your mind, he's got a king for 3 kings or nothing. He could easily have a flush draw or just be bluffing.
And the 21-year-old's going to make a nice call there.
Good call.
Brian shows the bluff. Ryan shows the winning hand, which is 2 queens. Kings and queens take it down.
Wyman sobers up there a little bit.
Well, a chink in the armor right there for Brian, perhaps. We shall see.
Nice hand.
Great Action going to Ryan Reinert first, though, with the button. He quickly folds the hand. Now Chris with a queen 10. He's going to call.
Chris, a University of Florida graduate, lives in South Florida.
And young Ryan Van Sanford with just an 8 deuce will make it 300,000 to go.
Aren't you just happy to get free flops when you have an 8 deuce and nobody raised you?
Well, he's aggressive. Chris is calling, though. Let's take a look.
And flop comes King, Jack 6. Chris with the open-end straight draw. He's going to check.
Ryan with an absolute horror flop. Nothing for him, but he's going to bet.
Once you raise it before the flop, you're committed to bet after the flop.
All in.
The check raise of all in.
Complete pressure to the discouragement of Ryan. He has to lay down his hand. There you go. You can get away with nothing out here on the WPT.
Well, we know aggressiveness pays off, et cetera, but sometimes you're a victim of FPS, fancy play syndrome. When you start raising with 8 deuce offsuits, you might fall in that category.
There is the monster bar here where the Royal Flush Girls hang out. Packed crowd here this evening in Jacksonville. Action on Chris, the Floridian. All his buddies in the audience here tonight. He's going to move it up to 250 to go. Ryan now next to Axe. He's got a real hand. Pair of jacks.
Yeah, he's capping his cards. You don't want to just call where you entice the big blind to call. And turns out the big blind's got a hand as well, but Ryan doesn't know it. He is going to 3-bet it to 700,000 here.
Raise.
Brian, the wine man, has ace king. He says raise.
So he is going to 4-bet it here with the ace king.
1.9.
Oh, wow. Close to 2 million. Chris out.
Well, Chris just hoping these two guys clash for all the dough here.
All in? I call.
All in and call. There it is.
Come on, baby, one time.
So a big pot here, over 8.2 million in this pot. Whoever wins it will be the chip leader. And if Ryan's 2 jacks stand up, he'll be the monster chip leader playing heads up for the title.
Coins are flipping. First 3 are coming. Here we go. It's a jack 9-7. 3 of a kind for Ryan.
He got very unlucky, Vince, because now Brian knows he needs to catch 2 runners to make it straight. A queen and 10 will win it. An 8 of 10 will split it.
That was a choke.
Oh, man, the wineman gets his grapes stomped on with that flop. Oh, his family and friends disappointed. 2 cards to come.
Well, it's not some kind of straight card. That's going to do it for Brian Reinert.
Turn card. It's a 3 of diamonds. It's over.
So Brian Reinert, the wine consultant, is heading to the bar now to have a glass or 2. But Vince, take your hat off to him. Just lost the race when he needed to win it.
That's what I didn't want to do, too.
The wineman is gone. Unfortunately, a great entertaining player.
All right, guys, have fun, man. Both great players.
Back to the grapevine for him. Out in 3rd place, going to take home 182,000 and a great reputation. Let's go talk to him.
You know, it's disappointing, but hey, you know, happens, man. I ran well, and I think I played pretty well. But I'm gonna continue to get better, and you'll see me back. Watch.
Everybody loves more. More food, more time, more doggos. You get the point. And at WPT Global, we're giving you more value when you deposit. Just use the promo code YT66 and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,500, along with our already incredible bonuses in tournament tickets and casino play.
Chris Bolek is a terrific player playing heads up for the title, but saying the toss-up is stretching it. Ryan's got over a 5-1 chip lead as they start out this heads-up battle. He's definitely the favorite.
Action on Ryan. He's got queen, deuce.
200.
He's going to raise to 200,000.
Ryan raises to 200,000.
And Chris,
All in.
he's going to set it all in.
Oh, I love the all-in bet by him here. Ryan quickly jettisons a queen deuce, so Chris taking down pot number 1.
You gotta believe in order to win, usually. Actually, I want to take that back. Sometimes you don't have to believe and you just win. They always say that to you. Oh, you gotta think you're gonna. Not necessarily.
All right, action on Chris. He looks down at 10-7 offsuit. Going to limp in and call on the button.
Check.
Ryan with the 10-8. Happy to see a free flop this time.
All right, a couple average hands. We're flopping 10-9-6.
Both players have flopped top pair and a gut shot straight draw. We could see some fireworks.
Ryan has checked it, and Chris is going to bet his top pair, 150. Very interesting hand so far. And Ryan, whoa.
Makes it 400,000 to go here with top pair and a straight draw.
Right back on Chris.
All in.
And he's gone all in.
Yeah, I just don't see how you get away from this hand if you have either one of these guys' hands.
Call. He's going to call it.
No way Ryan's throwing this hand away with his chip count especially. And he's got the best hand, Vince. He's got 2 10s with a bigger kicker.
We can chop her up.
A lot of chops possible. Ryan out in front with the better kicker. Here we go to the turn. Deuce of spades.
That's a great card for Ryan, because now he's got the flush draw as well.
Yep, he's 1 card away from this title.
Well, a deuce or a 6 would give him a split pot.
Let's go to the river. It's a queen of clubs. It is over.
Just that quick. Ryan has won this tournament. Ryan Van Sanford is our champion.
Yeah, he has done it in swift action there.
That's unbelievable.
Chris Bolek is our runner-up. Let's see what he has to say.
The goal is always to win, but I'm happy with my performance. You know, I could have played better, sure, but I was happy to get a heads up, and I can't say enough about the whole experience. I mean, it's been awesome. You know, obviously my biggest result and the biggest final table that I've made, so it was great to share that with some friends and family, but hopefully, you know, this opens up some opportunities.
Okay, let's talk to our champion of the best bet bounty scramble, Ryan Van Sanford. Ryan, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You just turned 21 3 days ago. This is your first ever WPT event, and you capture the title. You made it look so easy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real.
Well, I can tell you from a guy that's been around a long time, trust me, it's not this easy, but congratulations. We are proud of you. In addition to over $421,000 in cash, you get a season-ending entry into the WPT World Championship. You also get your name inscribed on the WPT Champions Cup. You get a set of Monster headphones, 24K. You also get a beautiful Hublot watch. Once again, let's hear it for our champion, Ryan Van Sanford.